Introducing the Revel Rodeo, the world's first 3D printed composite full suspension mountain bike, using the CBF suspension platform, made in America.
Part of my goal at Revel is to always push the limits, always experiment with new types of manufacturing. I'm a strong believer of the right materials for the right application and making those products in places that makes the most sense.
When Revel approached me that they wanted to do a downhill bike, it's about time. Yeah, game on, I already got it done, let's do this thing.
So right now, this is a concept bike. This is a bike that we're working on. We've been working on it for a couple years now, testing this bike all over the place, and we just want to show off what we've been working on. It is not available for sale, and we do not have a date for when it will be available for sale. So some people have asked, well, why talk about it? And for me, it's pretty simple. We're making cool stuff, we're experimenting with cool stuff. Let's show it off.
We wanted to create a downhill bike that pedaled really well, was super stable at speed, soaked up bumps, stayed active under braking. One of the very unique things about this frame, in addition to it being 3D printed, is also the fact that it is a thermoplastic composite material, much like our Revel wheels.
I was always excited about the opportunities that thermoplastic presented. And when we discovered this 3D printing manufacturer right in the heart of Silicon Valley, California, I knew there was a ton of potential, but there was also quite a bit of risk. How long is this going to take? It hasn't been done before. We're the first company making a mountain bike out of this material and with this manufacturing process. The way they manufacture bikes is all 3D printing, but for structurally strong carbon fiber. So we could come up with a model on the computer, press a few buttons, work with their engineers to create the coding for how the print head was actually going to print the bike, and then watch the bike get printed right there in front of us. Pull the bike out of the printer, do some post-processing work, and it's ready to go.
Through the development process of the Rodeo, we naturally went through tons of frames, iterating both the ID, the geo, the carbon layup. This is one of the earlier prototypes that we have. One of the main advantages of 3D printed carbon fiber is that the rear triangle is actually printed in one piece.
So we could have made a bike that probably would sell a whole lot more than a downhill bike. You know, an all-mountain bike is far more popular than a 200 or 220 millimeter travel downhill bike. But I figured, hey, this is new technology. Let's try to make the most difficult bike we can out of it. It's going to teach us a whole lot. If we can make a downhill bike, the testing standards are so high. These bikes are made for backflips and Red Bull Rampage stuff. So I wanted to make a product that was the most challenging product to make because I figured that's the best way for us to learn.
Why a downhill bike? Because CBF in long travel really shows the benefits of what it really does. It shows how well it can pedal and track the ground, the deeper and longer the travel is. When you feel it in long travel, you're really shocked. You're like, wow, I could pedal this up a hill. Tracks the ground better in long travel. It'll absorb through the undulations when you're sprinting. Even under braking, it tracks the ground even more because there's a lot more negative travel and movement that it can conform to the ground as you're going through those rough, steep braking situations.
Why did we call it the Rodeo? Have you ever been to a rodeo and seen the bull riding and the bronc riding? It's like trying to hold on for dear life, and that honestly is kind of like how riding a downhill bike is, for me at least.
Every summer we have an official Revel Bikes company night at the rodeo where we cook a bunch of good food and invite all of our friends, drink beers, and we were watching the rodeo one night and figured, why not name a bike the Rodeo? Downhill bike made right here in America. Seems pretty fitting to me.